Today's a really exciting day because we finally gained access to the second cellar, which we previously couldn't get into. Dave has managed to remove the wall around the pipes, so I'm hoping I can just about squeeze my way through and show you around down there, because I've not properly seen it for myself yet. First things first, I have to see how badly it's flooded in there because we've had torrential rain this week, and also get some light down there. It's a bit flooded down here, but nothing too horrendous. And this is where that wall's been opened up slightly. So obviously we've got this in the way and the pipes, but I'm hoping I can squeeze my way through and have a little look in there. Oh, this is not going to be particularly easy. And also I'm on my own here. I don't really enjoy the prospect of being in there without an easy route of escape, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to use my phone light in there to... Oh. Don't know where I'm going to put this so that it doesn't fall. Just put it there and then I can grab it. Yeah, I can grab it in a second, hopefully. Just mindful that I don't want to lose that. How am I going to do this? Getting in is one thing, but getting out is quite another. Oh, God. How am I going to do this? Okay, plan B. Okay, Charlie's removed some of the pipes, so finally I can get in there. So let's give it a go. Still doesn't look like the easiest to do, but I feel like I could do with being a bit taller. Am I okay?
I'm by pulling myself up on the steel beams above, but you can put some weight on the pipes as well.
Where are the beams? Oh, they look gross.
They are gross.
Ow. Oh my God, this is really... How do you do it?
By not being a wuss.
Okay. It's quite distracting with Cole having a meltdown upstairs. He does not like...
Can you try not to put all of your weight consistently on one pipe?
God. Even with those pipes gone, it's not the easiest. Oh, I'm through at last.
Do you like the camera?
Yeah.
Here you go. You've got a light there as well if you want to wave it around.
Oh, yeah. I haven't actually seen in here myself. Never mind. Oh!
What?
Look. Cole came down here.
Oh, yeah.
He's never done that before. He's quite frightened of this cellar.
Oh,
Normally he just
it's not very nice down here.
stands at the top of the stairs and cries until we go back up there. Even though he can, the door is open, he knows we're down here, he can hear us, he's perfectly safe up there. Wow. It goes further back than I thought. Right, let's light my way and have a look. Oh my goodness, these storage vaults are not only huge, but there's loads of them. I can get a better... Sorry, it's long in here, but it's narrow. So there are 6, and 6 on the bottom, 12. My goodness. They go quite far back. Bless him. Cole is still crying because he can see me, he can hear me, he just cannot get to me. It's okay, Cole. Oh my goodness. Oh, the thought of there being something weird in one of these is... The weirdest thing is, it's surprisingly clean down here. Oh, that pipe looks a bit... I mean, I know Dave got in here and gave it quite a good sweep and stuff, but it's not as many cobwebs and stuff as you might expect. Early on, I told myself that this cellar might be full of like lost, gorgeous Georgian antiques, but sadly that is not the case. Can we back out now? But yeah, once we've opened the whole thing up, it's going to be this kind of... Sorry, it's okay, Cole. Oh, I'll be with you in a sec. It's going to be like this whole kind of U-shaped bigger cellar.
So now that we've just about finished downstairs, it's time to make a start upstairs. So I'll just quickly go around and show you what I'm doing next up here. First of all, here in the guest bathroom, where there used to be a ladder going up to the attic. Now the plan has always been to remove that ladder, and Dave removed that for me last week when I wasn't around. So now the ladder's gone, and we just have this gaping hole in the ceiling. So one job is going to be to tidy up that hole, fill it in, make sure it's safe, and we won't be plastering over it yet because that's for later, but just making sure that it's all tidied up and ready to go. The second thing is to do with this, what used to be the two upstairs bathrooms. So we've got these two doors. Let's go across this side first. This is the original door, the big wide one on this side. And then this is the little narrow door on the other side. So the job is to get rid of this little narrow door, get rid of the door frame, and we're just going to fill that in the same way that we did downstairs. So I'll just quickly go downstairs and recap what that looks like. So it's the other way round downstairs. The little door was on the left, but we've now removed that and just filled it in with new stud wall, floor to ceiling. So the plan is just to replicate exactly the same thing as this upstairs to create the bathroom, or what will be a dressing room or study, with just the one big door, the same as down here. I've actually bought myself a present this week. It's obviously a bit boring here on my own, so I've got myself this Bluetooth speaker thing so I can listen to a bit of music while I'm getting on. So now if there's any terrible music in the background of the videos, that'll be just what I'm listening to, so sorry about that. So the first step is just going to be getting this door off, and I've actually already started taking the screws out of the hinges at the bottom. And I definitely think now that taking this door out is the correct choice. It doesn't look great where it's been cut off by the staircase, and it's just a small door and it's not really going to serve any purpose. If we want a cupboard here, then we can build it on the inside. And since this is going to be a dressing room anyway, we can probably have this as just a big built-in wardrobe in here, so that'll be nice. There goes the door. So an interesting thing about this door I've just removed is that it's surprisingly heavy. Most of the other doors I've removed around the house, the little ones that look like modern additions, have been incredibly light, and they've actually been made of cardboard, whereas this door is incredibly heavy. And looking closely at it, it's got this panel stuck over the top of the existing door. So rather than chuck this straight in the skip, I'll see if I can get the panelling off and just see if there's anything about this door that's worth keeping. the wall on this side is a bit of a mess. So I think this wall is going to suffer the fate of some of the walls downstairs, and I'm just going to strip all the plaster off this wall and start from scratch. Here it is. We've just got the two big door frames now. And most of the plaster has been removed. And as I mentioned, this door frame, the next job is to get the floorboards up and extend this bottom piece all the way across to meet the other side. So that might be something I wait for Dave to come back and he can help me with. And also I realised I don't have the necessary piece of timber to do that anyway. So I'm have to wait until I can get to a timber yard and pick that bit of timber up. I've got loads and loads of good quality 2x4 timbers, but this bottom plate really wants something slightly bigger to match the original. So I'll have to measure that up and pick something up. So here's the setup ready to go. I've got this very cheap wet and dry vac that I got from Amazon. I really feel like these videos should be sponsored, all this stuff I'm going to be showing off that I'm using. But I might as well show you exactly what it is. This is a Vac Master, which I'm astonished by how good this is, considering it was basically the cheapest shop vac I could find on Amazon. And then I've got that connected into the back of my new miter saw. I spent a while researching these, and this Evolution brand is pretty cheap, but apparently it does the job. So that's what I've got. And this has a rather useful feature where you can plug the saw into the vacuum. It's got a socket on the vacuum and you can plug the saw into it. And when you draw power from the by turning the saw on, it automatically starts the vacuum. So we'll make use of that, I hope. And that's it. Now, this is what I'm planning to do. I'm going to take up these floorboards here and I'm going to cut this piece down to size. I actually had to go specially shopping because even though I saved loads of lumber that I took out, this piece is a bit special because all of the other pieces around the place, or most of the other pieces that we're using for construction, are these 2x4 timbers. So they are 2 inches wide and 4 inches deep, and that's incredibly standard. But some of the timbers in this house are actually bigger. This vertical post here I think might be 4 inches by 4 inches. They've gone a bit overboard there. But more importantly, this floor piece that I'm trying to match, which is like everything, it's 4 inches deep, but it's actually 3 inches high, which is a slightly more specialist size. So I had to shop around to find a piece. So I've now bought this piece of planed lumber to go in that gap. So I'm going to take the floorboards up and then I'm going to cut this down to size and fix it into place. And I suspect the way I'm going to go about this is not the way I might go about it if I was a more skilled tradesman. I think rather than measure once and measure twice and cut once, what I think I'm going to do is to actually deliberately be a bit safer, cut it slightly too long and then just whittle it down until it's absolutely perfect, because I don't want to risk messing this up, because that's quite an expensive bit of wood. Having taken all those up, I've suddenly realised I probably could have saved a lot of time and hassle and kept things in better condition by just cutting them off at the edge rather than actually taking them up. But there we go, they're up now. So I'll put the beams across and then I'll just cut them to size and put them back down again. This is very cool. It's got a little laser that shows you exactly where it's going to cut. We're getting there. I've cleaned up the joist. I'm just going to remove those pipes that are running through it, and then we can put the new piece down. Right, hopefully we're now ready to hammer this into place. And there it is, it's in place. It's sitting on the joist below. And interestingly, we can see at the ends where it's butted up against the old bottom plates, we can see that the new planed timber that I've bought is quite a bit skinnier than the original old stuff, which I guess was planed differently. But there we go. That is now nicely sitting at both ends. I've lined it up, so I'm going to screw this down into the joist, and I'll also screw it sideways into the bottom plates on either side, just to give that as much strength as possible. And then it'll be ready to add the studs coming up. I've bought 80mm and 100mm long screws, so I'm hoping that one of these will be a good length to go down through the through this new bottom plate and then join into the stud into the joist below. Just before I start cutting these floorboards and putting them back down, I'm going to do a bit of clearing and tidying, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So where the floorboards have been taken up, first of all, it's left lots of nails behind, sticking up out of the joists. So I'm going to take all of those nails out, ready to hold the... I probably won't nail the floorboards back down, I'll probably just rest them down, in case they need to be lifted up to put new pipes in and things. So I'll get rid of all these nails that are sticking out, and then I just want to clean up this this thick dust that accumulates in the corners between the floorboards. So I'll vacuum all that up, and then that will be nice and clear, ready to put the new boards down, or at least, yeah, cut them and just rest them down. In order to make me pulling out nails a little bit less boring, perhaps I can talk a little bit while I'm doing it. I had thought I'd do more videos about admin, but I just haven't been able to bring myself to talk about sending emails. A lot of it is incredibly dull. But on the positive side of admin, I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but I got the approval finally from building control. So I've now got the go-ahead to do everything I want to do with this place, and a lot of the technical details are laid out in that approval. So that defines things like the materials I have to use, where I have to put extra fire safety doors, where I have to, it's mostly about fire, to be honest, where I've got to put like extra layers of plasterboard or fireboard to protect the structure from fire and to protect the staircase from fire. It's all stuff I was expecting. Although there are a couple of things that came up from building control which I wasn't expecting. Obviously some documents that I'd not fully read before I started. So the first one, and the simplest one, is that it turns out I have to install an electric car charger. I think this is quite a new regulation, but the government have decided that all new dwellings in England need to be fitted with a 7 kilowatt car charger. And because this house, when it's finished, will be classed as a new dwelling, because I've basically destroyed the 5 flats and created one new house in its place, it needs to have a 7 kilowatt car charger. So that's something that I was planning to sort of make provision for and probably install a bit later on. But it turns out I have to go ahead and do that immediately and actually put the charger in. So not really a big problem, but just an interesting little addition. The other thing that came up from building control, which is not terribly interesting at all, has to do with security. It turns out I have to have some kind of viewing hole on my front door so that I can see who's at the door. That was quite a big job just to install one bottom plate, but there we go, all the floorboards are back down, the plate is in place, nicely secured, and now I can start cutting the new studs. So there's the first vertical in place now. I've lined it up just by eye below this one at the top. I don't think it particularly matters, but so I just need to do 2 more of those. There we go. I've got those 3 vertical studs in. It took a little bit of messing about because, first of all, I think I was over tightening the screws that I was using, and as I was putting the screws in, it was slightly moving the studs. So I've had to remeasure, just make sure they're all in exactly the right position. A couple of them had to be moved. I don't know how they got so far out of place between me measuring and me actually finishing, but they've all been realigned now. So we've got the 3 studs in place. And now I just need to put in the noggins, which need to be 1.2 meters apart. And there it is. We just need to make sure it's reasonably straight and screw it into place. These are actually closer together than normal construction. I think normal construction would be 400 millimeters between the studs. These are about 300. Which is fine, it just makes the wall a bit stronger. Well, I think that'll do for today. It's not quite finished and it's not quite perfect, but I'm pretty happy with that as a first attempt. You made a mess. Hello. How's that timber? How's that joist looking? Oh, right. Yeah, that was attached by absolutely nothing. The others, they need shoring up, definitely. Emma's been reminding me that it's time to actually publish a video, so I think this will be the end of this video. So thanks for watching, as always. See you next time.